episode of Chatty Broads with Bekah and Jess.
Well, hello, broads. Happy beginning of the week. How are you?
Good. I just got an email notification that my chickens are coming in the mail soon.
Oh, the chickens.
Isn't that terrifying that they ship live chicks in the mail?
Yeah, I was going to say, what does that even mean? That scares me. I don't like
I have
that.
no idea what I'm going to find, but I have to pick them up at the post office.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think you'd have to go somewhere to pick up your chickens.
What if they're in little tiny airline seats strapped in?
Oh my God, that's
in this
so
little pod.
Cute.
They've got little trays in front of them with feed and little cups of water.
A little plane just
a little Barbie plane
on the counter of the post office and just
they're zoom, your chicks are ready for pickup.
Oh my God, there's a pilot chick.
They've got little luggage.
Flight attendants.
Little chicken flight attendants. Oh my.
And the pilot chicken and the pilot flight attendants are like, oh no, we're staying here, but these other the passengers you're taking, but we have our next flight soon. All right, close.
You know they say chickens don't fly. Wink. And they're like, happy clucking. That is the world I want to live in.
Oh my God, please let us live in that world. Maybe
I can get, I'm going to look on OfferUp and see if I can find an old Barbie plane and I'll take pictures of them on the airplane and be like, our chicks just landed.
That is cute. That is very cute. That is some sugary content. I like that a lot.
You want to know something?
Tell me.
Okay. First of all, didn't talk about this on Instagram. Well, I kind of just forgot to talk about it, but at the time I was like, the psychos are going to come for me. Just so you guys know, there was 4 chickens and now there were only 2 chickens because Gray and I had a little bit of a miscommunication about who was putting the chickens back in their cage a couple months ago. R.I.P. to either Chica Linda, Boomerang, Babe, or Spirit. We're not sure which of those 2.
Poor chickies.
Were goners. They were dragged under the house by either a skunk or a raccoon, and there was a trail of feathers in their wake.
No. Okay, I can't even start to think about this because this takes me down the whole...
Blood.
I mean, we all have our childhood memory of when something traumatic happened to one of our animals, and honestly, mine is one that I remind my mother of because I blame her for it every 3 months. It's one of my favorite things to bring up.
Do tell.
I mean, it's almost too much for me, but mostly it was my guinea pigs, which I was obsessed with. And these were guinea pigs that were given to me post experiencing infidelity with my parents. So they were apology guinea pigs and they were trauma pigs for me. I cuddled with them. Mom and dad are fighting. I saw shit I shouldn't have, and I have my guinea pigs, and we would sit on the lawn and I'd cry and I'd have my guinea pigs.
Oh my God. This is explaining a lot. Okay, go on.
So these guinea pigs were
such a sad picture.
They were my life, right? Only child.
Yeah.
So I used to
they
just
were your
sit,
friends, your confidants.
Yeah, I would sit outside, and if you know a guinea pig, they're very skittish. Yeah. These guinea pigs, they were my babies. They loved me. So they didn't even have to be in a cage. I would sit on the lawn and they'd cuddle on me in the sun, and I'd have my little audiobook in, and they were my babies. And one day before school, my mom was like, I think the guinea pigs would when we would leave, of course, we'd put them in the cage so they were safe. My mom goes, I think the guinea pigs would love to just probably be outside and graze. And so we could just put the lid for the top and then the guinea pigs could graze.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I know an animal will come and get them or someone will take the guinea pigs, because my mom wanted to do it on the front lawn as well. I was like, why? We have grass in the back. And I'm a child fighting with my parent and I'm going, no, something bad is going to happen. Something bad is going to happen. And mom says it absolutely won't. Cut to numerous hours later when mom is bringing me back from school and there is a bloody mess on my front lawn.
Are you serious? Guinea carnage.
Snowball and furball. Yeah. I saw red.
Did you have blood issues before that, or was it after that? Was that your blood trauma?
It might be, because I was so young. But I don't recall getting freaked out by blood. Maybe that was. Maybe you just therapist the shit out of me. Thank you.
Blame her for that too now.
I'm gonna, 100%.
Yeah, make sure.
All of those things, it was like my source of comfort. Yeah. My mother lied in my brain to me. She told me I was going to be safe and I wasn't. Deceit. And it was terrible. Terrible. And then she was like, let's get you something new quick. And I was like, bitch, you can't replace these balls. No. Okay. My little snowball and fur ball. No. She took me direct to the pet store and I got a bunny, which I named Harrison Ford. I was 5 and I was obsessed with Harrison Ford already. Weird.
But that's cute because it's like Harry's.
Yeah.
Ford.
But then that bunny, my mom insisted we let like run free around the yard, and I didn't want to because then I was nervous. And then one day someone left the gate open.
Pure trauma. Uh-huh. Well, my mom had a rabbit, and one day she came home from school and they were having chicken for dinner, except it wasn't chicken. And her parents made her eat her own rabbits and didn't tell her until after.
They didn't tell her until after?
No. My papa killed her rabbits and fed them to her.
Bekah,
like a psychopath.
You can never then be mad at your mom ever again about anything. Because you're like that. She had to like live through that.
She ate them.
Dude, I mean, what the fuck with some of this? God bless some of the, there are good people in the older generation, but are you fucking kidding me?
My grandpa, this is kind of funny though. My uncle got my grandma 2 doves as like a pet for her in the cage. And then like my uncle came over and my grandpa was grilling and he's like, this is my Mexican grandpa. And he's just like, they're the fucking doves. Why would we keep these birds as a pet?
For real?
Oh my God. He was a tough motherfucker, man. My dad's dad. Yeah. Yeah. So
that's a lot.
So I was starting as I was saying, the 2 chickens died. Ruth goes, she tells everyone, we have 2 chickens now. 2 died.
Oh no.
A skunk ate them. 2 died. Yeah. She goes like, yeah.
Oh God, she's so cute.
Yeah. Like they died. And, well, one of our chickens now, we found out it's a rooster. It's not a hen. Mm-hmm. So we have to eat him this weekend.
Okay. Yeah.
So we've been prepping Ruth,
Yeah.
And what's so funny is in the morning, she's like, no, like, I don't want to eat him. And then come afternoon, she's literally like, we're going to kill the chicken and we're going to eat it. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to have to pluck the feathers. She's like, I'm going to help.
See, this is the thing. It's so messed up because I'm like, I can't handle you talking about that. And yet
You're going to go have chicken for dinner.
I'll go to like some fucking fast food place and consume that.
Eat the tortured Foster Farms
it's just
chickens.
like, I really need to. Maybe I'm just, maybe we try vegan 2022.
Well, that's why I want to do it. I'm like, okay. And Grace's like, you're not going to be able to handle this shit. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I won't, but I want to see it. I want to do it. For me, it's a life experience that I want to have. I want to kill an animal and eat it since I've been eating dead animals so much of my life.
I mean, it is one of those things where it's like, okay, this is the reality of the situation. So like be aware when you're consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about how these animals had to die for you, And it probably wasn't as humane and picture perfect as in the backyard.
No, that's, yeah.
But
you're going to have to let me know how that goes.
It won't be pretty. It won't be. So we decided we won't let Ruth see it die because that's a little bit, and the chickens, even when they're dead, they're.
Yeah, no.
They'll even run around sometimes.
Yeah.
Did you know that a chicken lived without its head for like 4 or 5 months? Have you heard this story? This is a real story.
4 or 5 months?
Yes, Jess.
I was like, yeah, no, I know they run around. It did not register. It took about 2 seconds for me to. 4 or 5 months?
This is a real story. There's an NPR podcast about this guy who like somehow part of the brainstem was still like left, which allowed it to like walk around and and they could,
Why are we talking about anything else besides that? Why am I just hearing this?
I'm going to find the podcast. I'm going to send it to you, dude.
The wildest thing
I've ever heard.
And the
story on the podcast is kind of crazy because the guy talks about how he like actually kind of came to they started touring with this chicken as a show. Like,
I mean,
come see the
what
live
else?
headless
Yeah,
chicken.
you have to do
Naturally,
that. Yeah, of course.
Naturally capitalize. Okay, so yeah, just like in Charlotte's Web, you know.
Yeah, you got a spider that can spell. You got
a chicken with the head cut off, running around the yard for months on end. That sells. Chickens sell. So he talks about like kind of like coming to love this chicken and care about it. And the way it died, I believe, was it ended up like choking or something. Cause like it didn't have the like reflex because it was just kind of like a throat.
How did it eat?
They would like pour it in.
What?
No, this is real. This is real. I know. I'm finding this podcast and sending it to you.
That is the craziest thing.
And they would tour, you know, and it's like stay in the hotel room with him. And then like one night, I kind of like asphyxiated and died.
How heartbreaking.
He was pretty heartbroken.
You're like, this is a miracle.
This is a miracle.
This is a miracle.
A headless chicken.
A miracle.
A chicken without a head.
And then the fact that it dies from choking too is just painfully ironic and horrible.
I know.
God.
I know. Or is it something like that? It was something like that. Who knows?
Now I'm upset.
You got to listen to it though. It's crazy.
It's insane.
So we decided that Ruth wasn't going to watch the chicken die, but we decided we will show her like the dead body and she can help pluck the feathers and stuff. So anyway.
Well, you'll have to let me know how it goes. And I don't know how I will respond, but I can't promise I won't cry a little bit. Okay, broads, quick pause. So my daughter Ember is as curious as a kid can get. She loves to learn about new subjects, is constantly asking questions. Her little brain is honestly going 24/7, and I am as obsessed with watching her learn new things as she is with actually learning them. My favorite tool as a parent for helping foster her curious mind is Kiwico.
Kiwico, we love them. They are the subscription box that combines the empowerment of play and the art of learning to make everything engaging, enriching, and so much fun for kids of all ages. Seriously, all ages. Each month, your child will get a crate focused around one STEAM project. And if you don't know, STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, art, or math. So the crate covers anything from learning about the art of flight by having your child create their own rocket to learning about mechanics and engineering by constructing their own arcade claw. So cool. The crates are perfectly tailored to kids, from the instructions to the explanations, everything in between, so you can let them take the lead and you can watch their confidence grow as they grasp new concepts. It's so much fun.
And parents, the biggest perk of all, every single thing you need to complete each project is included in the crate. That means you can spend a whole lot more time learning and playing with your little one and a whole lot less time running to the store to pick up glue sticks or tape.
Redefine learning with play. Explore hands-on projects that build creative confidence and problem-solving skills with Kiwico. Get 50% off your first month, plus free shipping on any crate line with code CHATTY at kiwico.com. That's 50% off your first month at kiwico.com, promo code CHATTY.
So we may only be 3 weeks into February, but trust us, before you know it, it's going to be summer. And when it comes to summer, my biggest necessity is a good pair of sunglasses, or actually a few good pairs of sunglasses. But a nice pair of sunglasses can run you hundreds of dollars. And at the rate I break them, lose them, or switch them out, I could easily spend a small fortune. And that is why I now buy blenders. Blenders are amazing. They're a fraction of the cost of some of the pairs I used to buy.
Okay, blenders are a fraction of the cost, but there's zero compromise in quality or design. Seriously, zero compromise. Blenders were started by a San Diego surf instructor who wanted to offer glasses that could handle any adventure, but he didn't want them to cost a fortune. But he wanted them to have the same elevated design as other big brands. And that's how Blenders was born. Blenders has a team of in-house designers that are constantly coming out with new styles, like orange polarized wraparounds, tortoiseshell frames with colored lenses, or your basic black lenses. There's a pair for literally every style.
Aside from their large selection of sunglasses, Blenders also has readers, prescription glasses, blue light glasses, and ski and snowboard goggles, and they are all so affordably priced. And again, high quality, so cute, so stylish, and affordably priced. What a gift.
To score 15% off your Blenders purchase, visit blenderseyewear.com and enter promo code ChattyVIP. That's blenderseyewear.com, code ChattyVIP for 15% off. Blenders, rocked with pride worldwide.
I just caught myself a look of myself in the monitor, by the way, and I would like to address my shirt.
Oh, yeah, Fet's luck.
If you're not watching the YouTube, it says Fet's luck, which obviously is just supposed to say let's fuck. And I just wanted to say that I found this shirt and I apologize if it's triggering to anyone because I found this shirt and I was like, this is everyone's worst nightmare at a college party. Like he's the worst type of guy ever. And so I decided, I'm like, I'm buying that and I'm taking it back. And
Reclaiming.
I'm reclaiming and I'm wearing one of those shitty frat shirts. Okay.
Which is so funny because when what it reminds me of is this frat, you know how frats and sororities have like their nonprofit things that they support. One of the ones at UC Irvine was they would do Cuck Fancer.
Oh,
was the organization. It's like a real organization, you know. Fuck cancer.
Yeah.
So immediately when I saw that, I immediately thought like that's such a college thing.
Yeah. So I've decided
it's
to
so
take it
not
back.
clever, you know.
No,
like,
it's
who
horrible.
came up with that?
No, it's horrible. And like I just have these horrible memories of those type of guys coming up and being like, "Hey, what's going on?" and just like being like, get out of my space. So I'm like, I'm gonna start wearing.
It is a completely different vibe,
right?
If you wear it versus if Evan walked in with that, I would be like,
oh my God, can you imagine if Evan walked in? Oh, our relationship would not last much longer than the next 5 minutes if he showed up wearing a shirt like this.
So what's your next move in terms of shirts?
I mean, I just have to start collecting these really like gross shirts.
You know what I want to bring back, which you would actually look really good in. You should try to find some on like Etsy or Poshmark or Depop. The big dog shirts.
Oh, those are great.
The vintage big dog shirts.
Those. Oh yeah.
Have like the big dog, the St. Bernard grilling with sunglasses on and shit like that.
Love those shirts.
So summery.
Big dog and gross shirts.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And then speaking of Fet's lucking, I wanted to ask your opinion about something.
Can't wait.
Oh, by the way, we recorded this episode right after the episode we dropped Thursday where we got pretty intense. So we don't know as we're recording this what your broad's response is to it, but we'll just in hopeful ways say thank you for the support.
Or fuck you. One or the other, right? It's going to go one of two ways.
So either way.
I feel like purged, you know? So now I'm like, oh, we got fresh slate, you know?
I'm like, we're starting from the very beginning.
Is hangover gone?
Hangover is gone mostly. In fact, I'm going to go out again tonight.
Do you ever feel like adrenaline clears your hangover?
Yes.
It does for me.
1,000%. If I get worked up, I will clear the hangover. And now I'm like, oh, I guess I'll just have to go out tonight and tomorrow. And
I think we might be going out together tomorrow.
I know. Maybe I should. You know what? I'll sleep. Tonight I shall sleep. So then tomorrow I will be fully primed and ready for you. But I'm not going to promise you that you won't be embarrassed by me because I'm in one of those zones.
Okay.
So the patio might be a little rough. Just FYI. Anywho.
I'm like, my Uber's here. Sorry. Kids woke up. I gotta go. Why are we going to this one again? Is just good?
It's just going to be a great night. Okay. It's going to be a great, we're going to go to the Comedy Store again.
It's going to be a great night.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night.
We're going to Mexico next weekend.
Oh my God. You guys have just been.
No, you are coming.
Oh my God. Like you just, oh my God, that's next weekend.
Yeah, it is. Not this weekend, but next weekend.
No, I'm actually a little stressed.
I'm like, I've invited like 10 people and all I've done is book the Airbnb and tell everyone they need like their passports or their birth certificates and licenses.
Are we driving?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So I actually would like tips. We're going to Valle de Guadalupe. So if you have wineries, apparently there's amazing wineries and amazing restaurants. So if you have any specific recommendations, please let us know.
Ooh, I really hope the energy that I've been having is like carries on into your birthday.
I literally woke up this morning for some reason nervous about my birthday week and I'm like, God, I'm fucking tired.
Oh, don't worry. Listen, even if you know me.
Yeah.
Even if I am tired, I promise what I will bring to your birthday is that I will make sure if you're tired that I have enough energy for the remainder of the crew. You understand?
You're going to keep it hyped around me.
Yeah. I'd be like, you do your sleepiness and I'll try to, make sure that everything's running smoothly.
Yeah. I always just get nervous oh my God, you know what another thing? This is so rude. One of my best friends who you've met got engaged last month and then told me that they're having the wedding in Nicaragua in March, and I'm one of the 2 bridesmaids.
That is very
And I was
last
like,
minute.
bitch, you ballsy fucking bitch.
That
You are
is
so
very
lucky I
last
have
minute.
the kind of career and like backup
For
help
real.
that I have. Where
You
I
can
can
be
just,
flexible.
yes, just in 6 weeks.
How many days do you have to be out there?
I mean, it's crazy because we have to fly into the airport her family has like a house there. The airport by their house is closed. So we have to fly into Costa Rica and then take like a 3-hour drive across the border into Nicaragua. It's like a 9-hour travel day.
It's like a full journey.
Literally. So like I'm going to be staying for at least 4 days. So I'm going to go. I'm so excited. I'm going to go for 5 days by myself.
Oh my God, you're going to have so much
I
fun.
cannot
Fully
wait.
alone?
Yes.
Oh,
and with like my childhood bestie and her whole family, who I'm
man.
friends with. Like,
You're going to come back and you're going to feel so... I love coming back and being like so ready to see Evan and Ember, but feeling like I had so much fun. What a great... Oof.
I am a
feels
little
so good.
nervous though, because like not like actually nervous, but then her whole family is like I said, we grew up childhood and we're not exactly in the same place now. Let's just say certain things.
Don't let that make you nervous.
Okay.
Let that excite you.
Okay.
There's gonna be some fun times.
I don't want to start shit.
But you don't have to start shit.
No.
But it's more like, oh my God,
Good
you're gonna
stories.
have great calls with Gray at nighttime. Be like, guess what happened? Such and such brought this up, and then asked me how I felt about it, and I had to be honest. And then, well, that started into a whole 3-hour conversation about where we stand now, and da 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 da. Oh yes.
But I'm excited. But so anyway, but the nerve.
Yeah, that's I know who you are, and I'm gonna say it's too last minute. You should correct yourself.
Granted, I think I'm like one of the only friends invited.
Yeah, I was gonna say two.
Only 2 bridesmaids, her sister and me.
Wow.
Yes, bitch. I know. I was kind of like,
that's an honor. That's a big honor.
I know. It actually made me feel so good because I like saw other people posting that she was reposting. Like, my best friend got engaged. Like my life best friend. And I'm like,
she's
for life.
Your life.
And then she's like, okay, you and blah, 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 her sister, are going to be wearing these dresses. And I was like, oh, it's just us.
So it's me.
Oh, so I'm the best friend.
And obviously you have to have your sister because she's blood.
Right.
So what you're saying is I'm the only person you care about.
Yes, that's what I heard.
You.
So I'm excited, but I know. So like, I'm going everywhere.
You're going to be all over the place. Oh my God. Jet setting.
But I'm excited. Who knows what will go down next weekend?
Oh, it's going to be fun. We'll have
know.
stories, broads.
I know. And my neighbor there,
I'll make sure to be taking notes.
my neighbor there is probably going to be pushing, not actually pushing, but she's going to be like, here, you can do these psychedelic drugs.
Uh-oh.
Time.
What-oh.
Fear and Loathing in Mexico.
Time to get funky.
I kind of would love that. Oh, I kind of would love that. That's kind of my dream. I'm going to have to talk to all my friends about this. I kind of would love if I was the only one not tripping and I was everyone's mother hen.
You would like that, wouldn't you?
I would.
Because then all of us, our full raw selves are exposed and you just get to be an observer.
But also, I'm actually good at that. I'm actually good at when people are like freaking out or like doing
You're
stuff.
great in emergency situations. You get very like, you're calm and you're centered.
Look at me.
Yeah, you're like, we're good. We're good. Yeah.
I had to do that last year for my birthday. One of my friends kind of tripping out in Joshua Tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I like sat with her on this cliff and I was like, people have been doing this for thousands of years, for generations. Someone probably sat on this exact rock feeling exactly what you're feeling like generations and generations ago. You're just part of this like cycle of the earth and
that's
life. And like,
beautiful.
just take a deep breath because you're just in this moment and this moment is just cyclical and that's like, okay.
That's so
and she
beautiful.
was just like, okay.
So
And my other friends were like, who were duelists, they're like, we're taking notes here, like taking doula notes. I was like, yes, I got this.
you're like,
guys.
thank you so much.
Don't worry.
The first night I was there and you got a little more high than you wanted to.
I wasn't even high. I got fucking anxious.
Well, that's what you were.
I know, and that's what's
you were tripping.
embarrassing.
And then I got to do that to you. But what I didn't do was comfort you in that way. What I did was take selfish advantage of fully vulnerable Bekah. I was like doing yoga next to you. I was like,
you're great.
so what do you think
Like,
about
do
this?
some That's great. like, let's do stretches, let's move our body. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, but then as we were stretching, I was like, so I love you so much. Tell me how much you love me. I was like,
Be vulnerable. Give me a back rub. You're on Molly. You want to talk to me?
Full selfish motivation. Just be like, hi, we're going to get down really deep right now. But just for my own self-gratification.
What is so funny is to observe in the party, like, there's like, when there's like 10 people, there's like always 2 people who want to like do more drugs. Where they're like, and it was really interesting.
And I always feel so bad because like they want, I know that feeling of wanting people to get on your level. Yeah. And then feeling sad.
It was always surprising. It was surprising to me. I'm like, oh, these are the people who are like, let's do it again.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like, oh, okay. Not me.
You're like, no.
But that's only when I'm drinking. When I drink after not drinking for a long time, I'll have like 2 glasses of wine. And I'll be like, let's buy a bottle. Fucking get crazy.
Yeah. I think that's, you and I are similar in that way because...
But I got to keep the momentum up.
Yeah. I'm like, don't go hard often, but then once it starts, like I said, it's like it just, you know...
It's got to be the right...
It's going to be a night. I just have to know that. I just have to know that about myself.
So last night I went to a like art opening dinner thing. Yeah. One of Gray's ex-girlfriends.
We hate her.
No, actually oh my God, I'm so excited. Dude, I'm so excited. So actually she works for the company that I'm now doing my clothing line stuff with. Yes. So she's actually one of like the people like on my team. And dude, I'm just so fucking excited. I have to show you because it's like, I'm finally getting to just do fun shit with clothes, and it's just gonna be. I can't wait. So excited.
I'm so excited,
and I haven't really been able to talk about it because just like legal stuff, but
it's gonna be good.
I'm really excited. So anyway, she's like in the art scene, like spends time between New York and LA. Is like an art person. Olivia Erlinger. She had this viral exhibit a couple years ago where she had mermaid tails coming out of laundromat washing machines. It's kind of a thing.
Familiar.
Like, yeah, you've probably seen it. But anyway, so she had like a little fancy opening dinner thing at her friend's house, which was Shirley Temple's childhood home.
That's wild.
Yeah. This is a nice house, and this is a 30-something-year-old man who lives there, and I guess his parents are like real estate moguls or something.
I mean,
like, you have to be to live in a house like that in Santa Monica.
Yeah, and with the historical context.
And it has an art gallery just in it where he just hosts his friends' shows in it, you know?
What a life.
That's just a whole nother world. And
yeah. The world we can't understand.
No. And that
we just
was
get a glimpse when we watch like Gossip Girl or whatever.
Well, that was the thing too, is that specifically the art world. And so it says a lot that I was the most colorfully dressed person there. Like everyone there was in black, you know, like everyone's in black.
It was like New York art energy.
Oh, God. And there is nothing I detest more than these arrogant motherfuckers. And you make a little joke, you know, as you're going to grab a handful of almonds from the bar area, and they're like, you know, look at you like, who the...
Disgusting.
Yeah, who are you, you know? And it's not until an hour and a half later into the night where everyone's finally eaten and probably done their drugs in the bathroom, and suddenly people want to chat it up, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely the 2-hour drugs later. 100%. All of a sudden, I'm like, why is everyone so friendly all of a sudden?
Nice to
everyone
me.
was so cold before. Now everyone just wants to talk to me.
And also, so what I picked up too is that, I hate that thing where it's like, oh, like I'm not paying attention to me, and then I find out that I can gain something from you, and then like, oh,
which is so
darling.
LA. Any arrogant pretense I'm disgusted by, like even like whether it be an art, like that type of art vibe, or like a club.
It's
like an LA club.
It's all the same shit. Status, ladder
all
climbing.
Status, and like everyone's just like trying to act too cool. I'm like, take me to the fucking dive bar. I just want to enjoy life. Like,
what was I was listening to someone or reading something the other day. Oh, it was actually the interview with Julia Fox. And she grew up in New York, and she grew up like clubbing as a teenager. And then she moved to Louisiana with some of her friends. And she was like, I was blown away by how fun going out could be. Because it wasn't about getting photographed or seen by people. It was about getting fucked up with your friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But that for her was a profound experience she had never had before.
That is pretty wild.
Right?
Yeah, it is pretty wild to think about. Like, I think about when we first came to Los Angeles and we were going out a ton, but for Evan's work.
Right.
So it was always like, who's going to talk to who? And he writes for such and such.
Parties,
so you got to talk to him. And
industry.
And at the moment, I had recently had Ember. So I was like so excited to be out and about. Yeah. And I was like, these are amazing. And then I started actually like making friends, then going out. And like I said, just going to like dive bars, like, local spots. I'm like, this is so much fun. And now I had to go to one of those recently. And I'm like, this is a nightmare. I hate this. I hate that everyone is being so fake. I can't stand it.
Oh,
I'm like, let's get weird on the bar. Let's have fun. Who cares?
Or like let's just put down the pretenses and just chat. Which then, of course, I should have gotten their names because then I am standing in this like glass. They did have such a cool house. Like in their backyard, they had like this glass greenhouse they had made. And I was just kind of like standing in there, and Gray went to go do something. And then this older lady came in with a French accent, and I'm like, I just want my boyfriend to build me one of those, She's like, I know, I've been taking photos. I want to build the same thing. And then we start talking about her home in Mexico, and then her husband comes in, and then we're just talking, blah, 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 blah. Then Gray comes in, we're all just chatting about like the favorite places and blah, blah, blah. And then we parted ways, but I'm like, dude, I bet they're probably some of the most important people at the party.
Likely. That's how it works.
Right?
Likely.
And I'm like, damn, I should have gotten their names. But anyway, so, no, it's just people are so bratty.
I know.
So bratty.
I know.
I'm like, shut up. You're not that cool.
You got to go out with the real fun people. You got to go out with the people who are, what I mean real and fun. The real people.
Well, and it wasn't that kind of thing. It's like it's a dinner for all, it's like all these people who are trying to, they're either somewhere or they're trying to get somewhere. They're either trying to stay somewhere or get somewhere. And I'm not, in that world. But then, it's just funny. And then the whole thing was apparently, and Mexico's the place. Mexico City. Oh, I was just in Mexico City for 4 months. Oh my God, it was just doing
all the influencers are going there now too, right?
It's all about Mexico. Yeah. And oh my God, my dealer in Mexico City, oh my God, he was trying to get me to buy a fake COVID test with crypto. Buy a fake COVID test with crypto. And then if I don't respond to, this is a guy in line with me for the food. And if I don't respond to his text, he sends me like weird gifts of like gerbils. And so I'm like, what is going on here? And I'm like, your dealer in Mexico City, crypto. Got it. And I know basically, it's saying to his friend, I know like basically everyone here, like, oh my God, just like a bunch of people I know.
It's just honestly, it's just a nightmare.
I was just happy he was talking to me. First person to actually engage with me outside from the older French woman in the gazebo. Everyone else is just like, I'm like, bitch, I probably have more followers than all of you.
Shut up.
And that's currency here. So you better be nice to me.
You better be nice. It's just, it's so crazy. Like all of these, like all the parties and everything and all the hangs. It's just a show, right? It's just like peacocking around.
Yes. And
there's no one is like laughing or talking about anything real. Makes me so uncomfortable.
But you know what? Whenever I'm around that kind of thing, then I go home and I'm like, I'm picking back up my dream of becoming an art star. I'm picking it back up.
You're like, I'm going to show them.
I'm going to show
all them, okay? I'm going to show all them how important I am, what a good time I am, I'm a genius, yet I'm relatable, right. All of these things.
And they're going to be jealous of me.
Of course. And then they'll be in a line begging to talk to you. Exactly. Begging to talk to you. It'll be
my art show dinner.
Oh, I remember being so lonely at these parties when I used to go with Evan because I'm not in the music industry, so no one gave a shit about me, okay? And it was just like, I've never felt just so small. People just look directly over you. Like, they know that you're...
You just gotta start dropping shit. You gotta be like, yeah, well, I'm Dua Lipa's assistant,
yeah, you know what? Honestly, we love going out with a lie.
Yeah.
We love going out with a lie. You meet someone at a bar, you completely lie to them about... I give someone a different story always. It's one of my most favorite things to do when I'm feeling it. come for me if you want. She's lying. She's going out.
cares?
I don't care. There's a random guy at the bar who's trying to flirt with me. I'm not
Fuck
into
him.
it. And instead, I'm going to make a fun story for myself.
Amazing.
You know? So I've just been traveling all over the world because I'm a writer.
Right.
Trying to gather this experience.
And you know what you should do? I've always wanted to do this and I can't do it. I've always wanted to do this. I'm going to do this next time at a party. I'm going to be like, where you name drop a fake name.
Yeah. Oh.
Where, you're like, well, I was at, I'm not gonna
Elisa
make it-
Spence's house.
Right. Elise, right.
I was at
Or make
Elisa
it sound like
Spence's
a little
house.
more like you're like, yeah.
I was at Elisa Spence's house.
Like Irina Rachmaninoff.
Yeah.
Irina.
You know. I'm not trying to, but
Anyway,
anyhow.
I'm not actually supposed to
And
talk
you
about
know that it'd be, oh, wow, oh my God, incredible. No one would ever look at you in Los Angeles and say, who? Everyone goes, oh my God, wow, amazing. Or, oh yeah, I used to hang out with her all the time. Or we vacation together. Blah. Ugh, God, no.
I know. We walk past these people's table and they're like, oh, well, I'm hosting that party. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot that you're hosting the party. And I'm like, Shut the hell
you
up.
go in with a fake story. The other day when I was at the bar, gave a guy this whole fake spiel. It was so much fun, and I was with my girlfriend. And so then you bounce. It's fun to do it with a friend because then you bounce off of each other. Be like, I'd say, oh yeah, it was crazy. Like I was traveling for so many months and I was just trying to finish this book. And then you pop in and go, oh my God, she's just this book now. Like it's nonstop. And I'm like, yeah. And then like, with the passing of my dog and then and then we're just and when there's two, then they have to believe.
Right. You know what you should do? You should just elevate the real facts. You should be like, well, I have 7 daughters.
Oh yeah.
And then people are like, oh my God, you're like, I know, 7.
7.
Dude.
Crazy,
2
right?
sets of twins.
Yeah. No, I'm what I also like to do is tell people that I'm like 43. Because then they tell me how good I look for my age.
See, that's the thing. People lie about their age and say they're younger. No, as
you
I
go
get older,
up.
I'm going to keep saying, yeah.
You go up.
Right?
You always go up.
When you're 60, you say you're 72.
Yeah, oh my God.
72?
Being 45 out this late, it's different now. And then everyone goes, 45? Really? I go, yeah, what can I say? They're like, what's your skincare routine? I'm like, I don't know, just water,
rub
soap.
a little olive oil while I'm cooking.
But it also is a great getaway too, right? So if I'm telling this guy at the bar, so what happened the other day is I'm talking about all these things that I'm doing. Granted, it's like 2 a.m, so no one would be calling me like this, but this guy's drunk. He's not paying attention. And I'm talking about, my writing career, and the drama of that. And then he won't stop talking. So then all of a sudden I go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's my agent. And then I pretend to take the call. Easy out.
In the morning. I like that.
Yeah. And he doesn't question it.
Sorry, it's one of my 7 daughters. One of my 2 sets of twins.
Sorry, it's an emergency. Speaking of going out, can I tell you about a story that a friend told me?
Yes.
Now, I know this didn't happen to either one of us. And I know broads at home might be like, why do I need to hear about a story about like a random girl that I don't know going out to a party?
Well, if you're telling me, it's got to be for a reason.
Let me tell you, and maybe this just tickled me. My friend told me this, and I could not believe. She went to a big party college, and while she was in college, one night, her and her friend were out. The third girlfriend shows up, is in like this trench coat because they have to wear these coats because they were in Ohio. She shows me a photo of this. She pulls out from her coat an entire pitcher of margarita in the bar. So she brought it with her, a full pitcher of margarita. And she's like, anybody have a glass?
Like a pitcher?
An entire pitcher. Like this big.
But does it have a top on it? Or is it like a bar pitcher?
It was a bar pitcher. And she had it under her coat. And she gets into the bar, pulls it out. And she's like, does anyone need a cup? And they're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, wait, how did you even, whatever. And later in the evening, the same girl started to she had glitter in her pockets and would randomly just be like talking to someone and throw glitter in the air, which what a move, right?
I hate that.
She just throws glitter.
Bro, if I was talking to someone and they threw glitter anywhere near me, when I was in a sorority for 4 months, my big sis, oh, by the way, that brings up a tangent I need to talk about. My big sis, quotation marks, was obsessed with glitter.
Did she ever throw some at you?
She knew better.
Listen, though.
I hate it.
Listen.
And I'm triggered.
I can't argue this because this is your feeling about glitter. But if I'm at a random bar and I don't expect someone to all of a sudden like hand me a drink and then throw glitter in the air, I'm tickled.
Now, if she threw glitter at a man bugging us,
that's a good move. I'm
I
sure,
like that.
knowing this girl, I'm sure she did it. Well,
glitter. That was glitter.
So
That's a Crystal quote.
Crystal. Quote Crystal. It was Crystal. So this girl, this is her energy, right? She meets some guy at the bar and is like, you're coming home with me.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend, her friend, and then this wild girl, the glitter girl, they come back to the apartment and she falls asleep right away. The wild girl who brought the guy home immediately passes out. And so she's like, we're home with this random guy who we don't know at all. And they're back, like I said, they're back at her house and her brother lives at the house with her. So they just kind of start talking. And all of a sudden, my friend's brother leans into her and goes, he's got my watch. And my girlfriend's like, wait, are you sure? He goes, he absolutely is wearing my watch. And so Katie's like, well, we need to say something to him. And let's call this random man Calvin. She goes, Calvin, I think you have my brother's watch. And she said he raises his arm up and he goes, I don't think so. He's wearing 2 watches.
I'm scared.
2 watches. The balls to not even put the other watch on the other side, that you just have 2 stacked on top of each other. And so they go, Calvin, that's his watch. And he goes, oh, okay. And he just takes it off and hands it to them. There's no like, he doesn't keep resisting. And there's also no like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You're right. He kind of acts like, oh, crazy. I can't believe. Okay, here you go. Winds up there. He's there for like a few more minutes. And one of the girls is like, what if he took something else? Like,
right.
What if he took something else? And so they're like, okay, Calvin, you need to go. But before you go, we need to check your pockets.
I need to pat you down.
Yeah, we need to check your pockets. He had my friend's wallet.
Oh my God. And this man must have seemed really non-threatening to just be like, Calvin.
Yeah. Calvin.
We're going to have to
check your pockets. Again. Calvin, hand it over. And then he pulls the wallet out or whatever. And he's like, oh, are you sure? And she opens it. She's like, this is my ID. So yes, it is my wallet. And he goes, oh, okay. And they're like, okay, you're going to need to leave now. But before, Calvin, did you take anything else? And he's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. He leaves. The moment he leaves, drunk friend who's passed out, who brought him, wakes up and is like, what happened? And then is like, where's my phone? Calvin's already down the block with this girl's phone. And so one of the other friends the next day shows up at his house, pounding on the door and is like, Calvin, you took her phone. You need to give me the phone right now. And he's like, okay. And he hands her the phone over. And then he's like, do you want to grab a drink later? Calvin, legend, icon.
Kleptomaniac.
But he's a sweet thief. You know what I mean? He's not running away. He's not causing a stir.
I think being a klepto is like a real thing. I remember watching some movie about this girl who was a klepto and she just like had to compulsively like take things.
Oh, no, it's absolutely a real thing. I have a very close friend who's a full klepto.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and it's weird because she is she's very like rule follower. Like super paranoid when we grew up at school, like super intense about always, she's so not that person, but yet when we go somewhere, she cannot resist. And I'm like,
even now?
Oh yeah. In her 30s. I'm always like, hey, please take that out of your purse. Like for me, can we not? Because I get so embarrassed. I'm like, you're stealing something.
What kind of stuff does she take?
Anything. That's the thing too. It's not even anything that it's not anything that she wants. God forbid I tell her I like something at a store because she will walk out with it and be like, I got you something. And I'm like, no,
I don't want it.
Back.
Cursed.
She will literally take anything. And I'm like, dude, this is insane. And she's like, I can't help it. Okay, broads, one more quick pause. So you know this company we're about to tell you about. We have been fans of for many years. But let me take you back a couple years when I first discovered them. This shoe changed my shoe life. All right. It is comfortable. It is cute. There was no wear-in period, and I would get all the compliments. I'm talking about my Rothys.
Rothys are the comfortable, stylish, and sustainable shoe brand that we can't get enough of. They have so many styles for both women, and now also men can get their hands on Rothys. They've got flats, sneakers, loafers, ankle boots, so many more options to choose from. So whether your day consists of taking your kids to play at the park, or lunch with your in-laws, or an important meeting at work, there is a shoe for every occasion. My new fave pair of Rothys is the sneaker in all white, which I wear all year round, but I already know it's going to be especially cute in the summer. I love it with my tan. It's a super simple slip-on sneaker that you can throw on to complete literally any outfit.
So Bekah mentioned that Rothys are sustainable. Let's talk a little more about that. All of Rothys products are crafted from thread that has been made from recycled plastic water bottles and other plastic waste. And because of that, every pair of Rothys is 100% machine washable. Just toss them in when you feel like they're looking a little rough, and out comes a pair that looks as good as the day you got them. Parent pro tip, the Rothys kids shoes, because they're machine washable, a gift.
Hit the new year in stride with a fresh pair of Rothys. New customers get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/chatty. That's ROTHYS.com/chatty. Get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/chatty.
So if you know me, you know that I love my two dogs. Like, I would do anything for my two dog babies. I'm absolutely obsessed with them. So obviously, I want to take the best care of my dogs. And that's why I am so happy that I discovered Fuzzy.
Fuzzy is a telehealth service for pet parents. That's the future. It offers 24/7 access to personalized pet care from veterinary professionals. It could be as simple as something like my cat's itching a lot, or it could be something as serious as I need a prescription for a middle of the night emergency. Either way, Fuzzy offers live chat and virtual consultations 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
In our house, we love Fuzzy. They provide so much help and peace of mind. In fact, last week, Boris was having this skin issue, and we hopped online on Fuzzy with one of the vets, and they were able to give us exactly what we needed to get Boris back in the condition he deserves to be in, and he is happy and healthy. The team at Fuzzy can also recommend the exact right products to get your pet in peak health, all of which have been chosen by their team of veterinary professionals. And if you're a Fuzzy member, you'll get access to discounts on those products. I know firsthand that pets can be unexpectedly expensive sometimes, so trust me, I will take all the discounts I can get to make sure our fur babies are healthy.
And right now, Fuzzy is offering our listeners a free 7-day trial membership. So go to yourfuzzy.com/chatty today to sign up. That's a free 7-day trial at yourfuzzy.com/chatty. And for a limited time, Fuzzy's offering a special discount of $20 off you and your $20 off your pet's product needs. So pet meds, supplements, food, and more with promo code chatty, $20 off. That's yourfuzzy.com/chatty for your free trial of Fuzzy with access to 24/7 personalized pet care and vet recommended products. And again, you're going to get $20 off all of your pet product needs. Yourfuzzy.com/chatty.
I find it kind of charming. I know it's annoying, but it's like if it's not affecting me, there's something a little charming about it.
It's wrong, especially when there's like it's a small store. Yeah. You're like, you can't do that. People need to be paid. And then she pulls it out of her big purse. You're always just kind of like, what's the deal?
She's like, I took this belly button ring. I don't have a belly button ring though, but I just took it because I thought it was cute.
But that's like how it is.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'll give it to somebody. And she always wants to give it away. That's the other part too. She like wants to get things for other people. I know
the psychology behind that.
She told me her mom used to do it.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. Dude, that's crazy.
So I'm like, I don't know if this is like a way that you feel like really close to your parent, but
I'm so interested by that.
The psychology.
I don't really have very good confidence like doing those kind of certain
it's
things.
Wrong.
Depends
you know what I mean? It's wrong.
But even like it's like my dad, which I think I've told you before, like when he would wear a suit and used to always wear a suit to work, and then just for fun sometimes after work he likes to go see movies by himself, like at lunch or like after work. He would sometimes go to the movie theater and see that if he could just walk into the movie theater because people wouldn't question him because he looked like the manager. And so he would like test that out. He's like, what'll happen if I just wear my suit and I just like walk in through the door and I just like wave at the guy taking the tickets and like, no, and just keep going. and it worked.
You know what? I don't have any of that in me.
I don't have that either.
Yeah.
I have it with certain things that
You'll be bold in taking stances in what you say, but you're a rule follower when it comes to like
I don't want to get in, you know what? I don't want to be embarrassed, and I don't want to get in trouble.
yeah, no, and I'm the exact same way. I'm
However,
like,
I will say that I've gotten older. I realized that if there's an easy way for me to play it off, for example, like the one time that I stole anything, where I stole from the airport bookstore in France when I was on The
yes,
Bachelor.
Yes.
Because then it's easy for you to go, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
This in my hand? I did not even realize. Holy
I'm
shit,
so
how embarrassing.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
See, I'll do that kind of shit. If there's an easy explanation for me to play it off like I didn't know,
Yeah.
then that I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I will never. I can't.
I don't like stealing. I'm just saying in general, that kind of solution of if you can be
Sure.
like, oh, whoops,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. Stealing or whatever, anything that's like breaking the rules, I cannot.
No, I just don't want to be chastised, and I don't want to be embarrassed, and I don't want to be associated with people who are being chastised or potentially embarrassed.
Understandable.
Like, don't know them. Do not know them. Not associated.
Not associated. Oh, I wanted to ask you. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, you didn't ask me.
Okay, from my Fet's Luck shirt. Okay. I need to know your opinion on this because I feel very strongly about this, and I don't know what it is. So
How do you think I'll feel about it first?
I think you'll be disgusted by it.
Okay. Fascinated. Curious.
So the other day, Evan was at his place of work and we started sexting midday, and I was like, ooh, this is fun. And we were sexting and doing the whole thing. And then I was aware, though, that I had to be careful because he's sitting with his computer and his text messages pop up. So I was like, I wanted to send him a hot pic, but I'm like, but it's going to pop up and who knows who's walking by at the time. And that's awkward. And then I started thinking, and he came home and I'm like, if one of the guys who was with you saw a text pop up from your wife 2 p.m. on like a Monday and you guys are sexting, I'm like, I'd be like, gross. It's gross. Like, and then Evan and I were joking. I'm like, why is it the fact us being married for 10 years, sexting is gross if I'm a bystander? I'm like, ew, stop, you guys. But if you're just dating, I'm like, oh my God, hot. Tell me all the details.
Oh.
Like if it's fresh, right? If you just meet somebody.
Good, interesting point.
Right? Like, what is that about? Like,
that's a good point.
If Evan's sitting there, his texts are dinging, and there's a guy next to him, and Evan goes, oh yeah, it's this girl that I've been seeing for a month. The guy's like, dude, what's the detail? What's her name? Like, do you have a picture? And then if he goes, it's my wife of 10 years, it's like, oh God. What is that?
For me, it actually really depends on what type of pic.
I'm just talking about just sexting in general.
But here's what I was going to say. Like, if I see from the text that you guys are actively sexting, doesn't matter if you're just dating or you're married. I'm like, ew, what the fuck? Do you have a boner right now next to me? Like, ew, no. Like, no. Stop. We're fucking working, bro. I don't want to see you get like half of a hard on for anyone. That's not why we're here. You know, that's not why we're here. So there's that. Now, if it's an out of like, I don't know that you guys have been actively sexting, but let's say you send like a pic of you and like a really cleavage top being like, va va boom.
Yeah.
Thought, you know, like, hey babe, whatever. I feel fine.
Okay.
I'm like, because I actually remember on The Bachelor, one of the producers, he's like, look at my hot, like my wife sent me this pic and it was like her with these little booty shorts on, but it wasn't like her vagina out, all of that.
Right.
And we were kind of like, oh my God, how cute.
Yeah,
like
sexy,
him and his,
a sexy pic. You're right. It
You know,
doesn't do
you're
that.
like,
But,
cute.
but like vulgar sexting.
I'm telling you, doesn't matter. Married, just started dating last week. I'm like, put that away in the office. I don't want to know about it or hear about it. Okay. Keep your dick under the desk, please. What the hell, bro? What
are your thoughts on sexting in general? Are you a fan of sexting or no?
Just depends on the context. Grayson does not do it.
Oh, I remember you saying that you would send like a hot pic and he's like, nice.
He does. Cool.
Honestly, there is nothing more frustrating than when you
Double tap. You're like,
when you spend so much time getting like the hottest angle of yourself and send it to someone and they're just like so hot.
or like
I'm
a little,
like, tell me what's hot
or
about
like
it
a
and
hard eyes emoji, and you're just like,
I'm like, dude,
I'm sorry.
the hard eyes emoji, you're just like,
Remember, like we talked about with Justin on The Bachelor, beautiful babe.
yeah, beautiful babe. Dude,
And you're like, dagger to the heart.
I have spent hour upon hour taking 70,000 photos, different angles, swiping, hearting, choosing the right one, then maybe doing a little bit of editing, making myself glow, making the tits a little bigger. And you're going to have the fucking audacity to double tap and send a heart eye? Oh, God.
The audacity, the disrespect.
The disrespect.
Yeah.
It gets me so heated.
That's
That
not right.
pisses me off. No.
Now, the thing that does make you feel better is that Grayston has never sent anyone a dick pic in his life.
With Grayston, it's different. There's a very different energy from a guy who doesn't sext and who doesn't send dick pics and then who responds in that way versus a guy who's like initiating the hot talk and then you send a photo and you just get a hard eye.
No, Grayston, the first time he ever got nudes from a girl, he was like 25 or something, which is so strange. He's like sexually active with a lot of people from like a young age and just doesn't.
His stories always surprise me.
Yeah, he's just like, no, so I guess it makes him uncomfortable. He won't send a picture of his dick. He's like, no, that's blackmail.
It's probably a smart idea.
But if you just see it of the dick, no one even knows that it's yours.
That's
so
true.
Who cares?
That's true. Every time Evan sends a dick pic, it's full body. I'm like, this is very incriminating.
The iCloud hack.
Yeah,
guys,
like you're looking.
You know where to go.
You're looking into my eyes, taking this photo. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you just take one down, whatever. Who fucking cares? Like anyway. So he doesn't do that. But no, I used to like sex with other boyfriends. I'd like, oh my God. I think back on it sometimes. I'm like, what a mess. I think I've talked about this before. My ex-boyfriend, his best friend was who I lost my virginity to, who I had no actual romantic connection to, but I had like hooked up with a couple times.
Yes.
And I was dating him. Then he was roommates with his best friend. And then his best friend would still hit on me. And one time, I'm not proud of this. One time, I was sexting both of them at the same time. And I was in New York, and I know they were both at their apartment in probably their separate rooms, and I was sending them the same videos and pics.
It's not right, but it's funny. It's not right, but two birds with one stone. Taking advantage of a good video.
Yeah. At the same time.
It's not right, but at the end of the day, how many of us
the
have
end of
sent
the day,
the same hot photo that we have in our bank to different people? Yeah. Right?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't right that it was his best friend in the same
No,
under the same roof.
I would say no, probably not. But I'm just saying the logistics. We all have those videos and those photos that we could just recycle constantly. There's no need to create more,
I do them in the moment. I've always done them in the moment.
Really?
Never recycled.
Oh my God, I have a folder, honey.
Unless I'm recycling, then I'll say like, oh, look at this old pic of me.
I have a folder, so like when I'm feeling hot and I feel like I'm all done, I just take pictures and I just keep them in the folder. I'm like, I can shoot one of these to Evan whenever.
Okay.
When I'm feeling,
I was gonna say you can't recycle that many. It's the same person you're sending them to.
Yeah. Well, also back in the day. Yikes. I was on that early train of sending photos to people, like right when we got the iPhones. It was just like, hi, nudes. I'm sure there are so many floating around. It's not good. Or I was always more of a video person.
Yikes. There's some people with videos of me. I wish did not have videos of me, but that's okay.
But it just is what it is. It is what it is. Oh my God. But no, I do enjoy a sex. I actually do want to make a declaration right now. This isn't scientifically proven, but if you're talking to someone and they initiate any sort of sexy sexting type conversation and you send a photo and they send the heart eyes back, they are currently sexting with at least 4 other people at the moment. And in fact, those are the type of people who sext all day long, right? They come back to their phone when they can, and they've got like, 4 DMs open, and they're sexting with other people. So just know this.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Word from the wise. You just had me thinking something. Oh, how do you end the sexting? So, let's say this is what's the thing about sexting. Sometimes it will go on way too long. And how do you resolve it because I've sometimes been sexting, like the guy I'm sexting is like at a restaurant with his fucking family,
Love that.
I'm, wherever I am.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, it's not like we're sexting or like FaceTiming and like we're gonna, like someone's gonna get off and that's gonna be the end of it. You're left in this middle ground of how and
so it's in a situation where you will not be seeing that person that night.
No, like I remember sexting with like a ex-boyfriend and we weren't actually together at the time, and it was like we lived in different cities.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
I mean, I would say easy way out, regardless of if it's the truth or not, is just put 2 little asterisks and just say I came. And then thanks coming, right afterwards.
Still asterisk, still coming.
Still coming.
As I'm typing.
And then just say thanks. And then you can just end it like that.
Oh my God. That is so funny. Now I want to go into my history and I want to like see. I think I could like find.
Ooh, we love a good sext. I listen. You are right though. It is a weird way to end. So I feel like someone has to say that they came, or you have the forever going sexting, which
is ridiculous. And I know I've done it.
Overwhelming. Which is
I
overwhelming.
know I've done it.
I do remember there was this one guy that I was sexting. Him and I nothing ever happened. We never even kissed, which is weird. But we were sexting, and I remember he was actually pretty fantastic at changing the conversation without it being weird. So like we would be sexting something back and forth, and then all of a sudden he'd say something funny like, well, roommate just walked in. I'm hard as a rock. This got awkward. LOL. And then let's say something cute, and then kind of shift the conversation. Like, what are you doing for the rest of the day?
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's bringing back memories.
And he was always really good at that.
That's a good, okay.
Where it was like, he'd say something kind of cute and funny to end the sexual tension, and then ask me a question about like what I was doing.
Yeah, okay, that's good. I like that.
I feel like that was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, damn. You know what? I never delete my text messages.
That's crazy.
And it is crazy because then you could go back in info and you can see like any photos you ever sent back and forth to each other. So
that's exciting.
I have like, I could probably bring up like 5 different dicks on my phone right now from like the past 10 years or something like that. Wow, it's really interesting, the photos you sent me. Okay, sorry, this is boring for a podcast where I'm just looking back at my...
But I'm sure looking back over like looking back over sex is so cringy.
Well, not even sex. Also, well, I can't see the sex. I can just see photos. But then there's also these like just the photos are just interesting. GIFs and all these kind of things that give like, so you're like, wait, whoa.
You mean like sex GIFs?
No, literally just like photos and GIFs in your like history with someone of like the shit that you sent back and forth to each other like 6 years ago.
What's your reaction if someone in a sext sends you porn?
I've never had that happen. I've literally never had that happen.
I've had that happen a few times and I do not know how to react.
Can you explain?
Like we were sexting back and forth something, and then it was like, you mean like this? And then it was like a link to like a clip from, like some porn website. And it was like, 2 people having sex, and I guess a way in which we discussed. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Double tap.
I'm a little bit like, I don't know what to say. Like when this is between me and you, and then all of a sudden you're like, are we taking notes from the porn?
Depends on your relationship, right? So like if like, let's say Gray and I would be like, oh, like I think this is so hot or something, and then you're like, oh yeah, because we've had a long intimate relationship where we like no, but yeah, if you're like dating someone, I don't think I'd like that. I think I'd be like, don't.
I made me feel a little weird. I was kind of like, okay, like we were in the middle of something, and then you're sending this, and like, Oh my God, that was when the sexting was emailing.
You actually did that?
Oh yeah.
Email?
Email. Because at the time, like, I mean, you couldn't send, like, I don't even think
You didn't have
could send
IM?
links and stuff. I don't know. We started doing email. It's kind of weird. It's out there somewhere, that means, which is crazy. That's definitely on my college email.
See if you can dig it up.
If I can break into it. I don't remember the password.
Yeah, no, reading back on any kind of sex, they're like, ew, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm like, girl, like, I'm always just so embarrassed by, I'm like, I'm like, Jess, you always do too much.
Totally. I kind of feel that.
You know, it's
your
like,
adrenaline's pumping and you're like, I'm going to shove this up my ass at this hotel. And you're like,
it's just
is
like,
that necessary?
You
really don't have to put half the shampoo bottle like up yourself.
Like, please don't do that.
Because the other funny thing about sexting is like sometimes you're in the moment, but a lot of times you're in adrenaline. You're like, I'm gonna do this, and like now I'm gonna do this, and in the video I'm gonna be like, and then you're like, okay, and crop that. You're like gonna be like shorten that video and send. So
and then you
whatever.
send it, and that's just like out there. Just intense.
And you know what I'm saying when you like do it and you're like, and then you're like, put a little filter on it. Okay, that's a good angle. And then you're just sitting there like naked on the bathroom floor.
Just like an hour later, I'm just like, this is gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. No, I mean though too, like when I look back at my sexts, like what I say.
Oh yeah, no, definitely that. No,
what I'm saying is, it's so too much. It's like, hey, bitch. Enough with the paragraphs. Sexting is hotter when you have like one line back and forth each. Like one or two lines back and forth. Do. It's all about the volley. It's like having sex. It's volleying.
Yeah. But
he'd send a line and I'd send a fucking paragraph back every time. What a nightmare. What a fucking nightmare of a person to sext with. That is just so like funny. I literally want to go back and send messages to all these guys and be like, sorry about that.
You're like, sure. And then after that, with your when I see the luscious,
when you're throbbing,
cascading over, you're like, yeah, you're throbbing, cock dangling between those meaty thighs, just like you're doing like fourth grade style adjectives, you know, like you know how in fifth grade they would be like throw in some more adjectives, some more adverbs.
I have my thesaurus open. I'm just like
as he lustily drove the thick, dark, mean, you know, it's like enough with the adjectives. We get it.
I'm like, what is another synonym for throbbing cock? What's another one for veiny?
Can I give you a interesting? I've never done this before, but I think that you should look it up. I think that you would like it.
Okay.
Porn. It's porn.
I'm like,
guys.
Oh my God, Becca's recommending a porn to me?
Not like a specific video, but this certain, okay, hold on. I'm going to show you this. It's graphic. I'm going to show you this porn right now, but it's never mind. Okay. Look up Futanari, like 3D.
Can I Google this?
Right now? Well, you could. I could also just show you it. But it's this 3D porn is what we've talked about, where it's like rubbery, where people's skin looks all rubbery, oily, and specifically these ones, this genre. I just think you might like it.
Okay, here's the thing. Like, I'm now sitting here, like, fully turned on the podcast.
Do you think you'll like it?
Yeah.
I knew you would.
Oh my God, I need to turn. Oh my God, I need to get this away. I'm literally like getting. Oh my God.
So that's why when I talk about hentai, when this cartoon stuff.
Yes.
It's all fantastical.
Yes.
And like.
And it's not real.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was nice. Yeah.
Enjoy it later.
I'm like, can we wrap this episode? Evan's not home for another few hours. I can get myself,
literally
pretty excited over here.
What's so funny is, and this is where it's like we've reached the next level of podcasting where we're like Gray and I are like having sex, and we're like watching one of these videos. I'm like, Jess would like this. like, Jess would like this.
You didn't say it to
I
him,
should, like,
but
show
you made
this
a
to
little
her.
note in your app. You're like, Futanori 3D. Mention.
She's gonna like this.
She's going to love this.
Oh man.
Oh, well, I appreciate that rec.
You're welcome.
I really do. Can I ask you one more question before we wrap? Okay. I want to know what your thoughts are on when someone, okay, trying to figure out the best way to break this down. Let's just say you meet someone on a dating app or whatever, you're single, and you start hooking up with this person.
Okay.
Right. And then you find out that they have a girlfriend.
You know what? That's never happened to me.
Okay. I mean, as far as you know.
True.
Maybe all of them did. Okay, well.
Okay.
So, but I'm not talking about like there's any friendship anywhere. Like you don't know the girl.
Okay. This is like a random
You
person
don't know
and
the
you find
guy.
out like, oh, wait, what?
Exactly. This is a
Stumble upon
random
something on
guy. You're in a
Instagram,
bar. You
you're
guys
like,
start
wait, this is
making out.
him.
Yeah, you guys start making out.
Whatever.
You hook up
Sure.
and you hook up maybe a couple more times or even just the one. And then you end up going on Instagram and seeing that this person has a significant other. Do you reach out and tell said significant other, or do you bury it for forever?
This is so petty, but it depends how much I care about the guy. And I say it like this. If I have hooked up with some guys where I'm like, I don't care if he lives or dies or if I ever see him again. I probably wouldn't. I probably would just be like, oh God, this is going to be a mess if I get into this now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's selfishly only because I like really don't give two shits about his life or about like anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I kind of like thought he was cute, thought he was fun, in my petty heart of hearts, I would reach out to the girlfriend because of that.
Well, I appreciate you saying this because I was processing this the other day because I know someone who's currently in a situation like that and was like debating contacting the person that they don't know, you know. And they asked me, they're like, would you want someone to tell you if Evan randomly was at a bar, slept with someone, would you want that person to slide into your DMs and tell you? And I was like, absolutely not. No. I would rather not know. Because again, unless it's like a friend, like if there's like if my
why?
Because and I'm not
No.
recommending this, by the way. This is just how I feel.
Now I want to talk about this on Instagram. I want to take a poll.
Personally, for me, Evan and I argue about this all the time because he has the exact opposite feelings. Personally, for me, I am like, because of all of my jealousy issues, I already am constantly like have that energy around me and trying to stay away from it. And I will carry that anywhere. Like even if I have a new relationship, I will carry that into the new relationship. It's just part of what I struggle with. If someone were to tell me that Evan slept with them, it would just make my life more complicated and more challenging.
Okay, let's take
and
it.
I'm like, I love Evan and I'm going to stay with Evan regardless. Like that's where I am right now, that even if Evan, like I found out this stuff, I would stay with him. So my thing is
divorce
it's like,
it from that situation.
Yeah.
Let's say this is purely hypothetical. Of course, it's hard to think in a hypothetical situation. You guys don't have Ember. You and Evan have been dating for 2 years. You just moved in together. Do you want to know? Yes or no?
Then I want to know.
Okay, that's fair.
And then I want to know because then I'm like, this is still fresh.
Well, this is why I would want to know if I'm in the situation right now.
Oh, for sure.
No, this is why I would want to know. I would want to know because I would be like, bitch, you said that you don't want to fuck anyone else, that you don't want to be in a fucking open relationship, all right? Why don't you just be fucking honest? Oh, it's because you don't want me to get mine too? What the hell is wrong with you, you selfish asshole?
No, yeah.
That's why I want to know right now.
With Evan, it would be like, okay, we've been together for 15 years. There's Ember. right? I'm planning on staying with you for forever. Like,
So, but would
I'd
you not want
rather
to know
not.
so you could? But wouldn't you want to know wouldn't you want to know so that you could then solve whatever issues going on where he's being dishonest?
In maturity, yes.
Okay.
In immaturity, I don't want to know. So I think it would be better
life is like you said, life is less complicated.
So
I get that.
I think it would be in maturity. I would say I'd rather I want to know so that we can talk about it, have open communication,
Figure
and
it out.
move forward together.
Right.
In my immaturity, I'm like, please never tell me, because I would just rather happily go along with my life and have no idea.
But here's my problem with that. Here's where I play the devil's advocate. Because
Please.
I have said this before also when you said if we had it open, I wouldn't want to know. But what's worse? Then you see on his computer a bitch's sext pop up and you find out. I believe the truth always comes to light. So would you rather, so if you had to pick, would you rather have someone tell you now, or would you rather find out in 8 months where...
I'd rather find out from him, because, again, this is just very personal.
Yeah.
Because
I'm curious.
Once someone reaches out to me and says, I hooked up with your husband...
Oh, I fully understand that.
I would feel in my weird fucking trauma people-pleasing brain that I had to somehow be like having a back and forth with this person. And I'd be like, somehow I'm going to have a conversation with this person. And I don't want to. I really don't want
now
to.
I have to be friends with her.
I'm like, great, now she's in now I have to go get drinks with her. Now I have to invite her out. Damn it, now she's part of the friend group. Fuck. That's how I feel. I know I would be that way, because then I'd feel like, and then I'd be like going back and forth with her, be like, yeah, fuck him. And I'd feel like I'd want her to know, like, I'm so sorry that like you had that. No, I would rather find out and then have no connection to the person that he slept with. Yeah. But I definitely wouldn't I wouldn't go around and tell my friends, don't contact the person.
I do think there is context, though, of what you see about their life. Because I honestly might second guess it if I did see on social media that he had like a wife and kids.
Yes. So if you hook up if you hook up with a guy and then you pop up and you see that like he started dating someone a year ago and he's at his parties and they're together, and then, or you look at this guy's Instagram.
Is a house that they just bought, their first house.
Family of 4. You're like, oh, dude.
Messy.
It's a lot.
No, I do think I would probably keep it to I might consider figuring out a close friend. I might message her close friend or sister or something and be like, I did not want to like disrupt her life, but I want to leave this, put it on them. I want to leave this up to your judgment, but like I do need to let you know that I did not know that her partner was married, and like
you accidentally messaged the frenemy of her, and so she's like, now I have this shit on Lisa,
the one who's always hated him.
Yeah, who she always has hated her kind of, and she's just like, oh, I can't wait to tell everybody about that drama, and like,
shit,
I'm gonna make sure Lisa's the last to know.
Don't you think that's kind of a good idea though? Maybe.
Yeah, for sure. I think I like I was saying, I like that you were honest about how if you would message or not. Because what I was saying to my friend is I was like,
but I don't know how I feel in the moment. I might feel really emotional and be like, dude, what a douche. Like, no one should be with this dude.
Yeah,
he was
of course.
lying.
So in my immaturity, I'd be like, don't tell me. But if in the actual situation, I'm like, I feel like maybe the best thing to do is to like take a beat and examine, why am I messaging this person? If it's because I really don't want another person to get hurt by this guy, then message. But if it's like my ego's bruised, so I kind of want to cause chaos and let her know, like, then I wouldn't. I think it's intention.
I have thought about either way, though, whether it's coming from a petty place or a good place. Like, I actually have thought about this before because friends have asked this. And I've always said, like, dude, DM from, like, a burner account. Like, you don't have to get caught up in the mess. You can make a fake account and, like, and say that way. Like,
oh, no, but I'm saying even if, like, regardless of if it's from a personal account or a burner, like, I would feel like maybe the best thing that I could do is just to check my intention and be like, okay, I want to let this person know genuinely what this guy is like or whoever, versus like, I'm fucking hurt and pissed right now. And so if that's where I'm coming from, then I would maybe take a beat and be like, okay, let me give myself a second and then really examine, like,
I struggle with this because I kind of think the right thing to do is to tell them.
Yeah.
Well, even whether or not you feel like it's going to rock the boat or where your intentions are. I kind of lean towards the side of like, you should let the person know. Because even if they do have like a good life or whatever, like if that person doesn't know that this person is lying to them, that could be like a foundation for like misery for the rest of their life. Even if they don't want to be disrupted, even if they wouldn't like that to be told, it probably is for the best if they know that this person has been deceiving them.
I mean, you're probably right. And it probably, this is where then I put my shit on it. I'm coming through my brain where I'm like, don't tell me.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to think about it. Let me live in denial.
Yeah.
But no, it's probably, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, it's like, if this person could know, maybe they would have walked away, and maybe they wouldn't. But, and then it's, you know, whatever. But you're then having conversations that are necessary. Or
a lot of people disagree with that, though. They're like, oh, you know, stay out of it. But I don't know. The truth always comes to light.
The truth shall set you free.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tricky. I think where it does get messy, where I would say like back out, is if you're not the one that directly had the encounter, you know, because I've heard that where it's like, I saw, like for example, like I saw my best. I never know how to feel about this.
Where you sent like the Jersey Shore. Oh no, you didn't watch Jersey Shore. The letter that they sent where they're like, "Dear Sam, yesterday at Club Bed, Ronnie made out with two women and put his face in between a waitress's breasts," and then they left her a note.
So that's what I'm curious. Like, what about like? What if you, this is also where it gets messy. Like, what if you see your best friend cheating on their husband with someone? Like, this is where things get real messy. Like, if I knew,
like if I knew that Gray was cheating.
I've actually been in this position before.
I've been in it
No,
too.
like if I knew that you were cheating on Evan.
Okay, so yeah, your best friend is cheating.
And I've thought about, I think with the relationship that we have, I think I would say like, you have to tell him where I'm going to tell him. And I think I might put you in that position.
You know, I feel like when you're really close, like let's just say, again, if you were cheating, well, it's tough because I know Gray well now.
I know.
If it's a friend
of mine. That's what I'm saying. In our specific situation, I think I might say like, dude, you've got to come clean to Evan or you've got to stop. Yeah. Those are your two options, or I'm going to say something. Yeah.
If it's a friend of mine where I also have a relationship with their partner, I might do something like that. I'd be like, we need to sit down and you need to have this conversation.
What would you do if I was doing it and you knew? What, like, think about right now, what would you do?
If you were doing it to Gray, I'd be like, girl, sounds like we gotta get out. Let's go to the bars.
This is your season.
No, I would.
It's your season,
I feel like if you're open for this, let's go bar hop, see who else pops up. I don't.
And the context is different too, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you carrying on a relationship with someone or did you
slip up?
Right? No.
I don't think I would tell him, but I would be like, Bekah,
get your shit straight.
You need to figure out your shit. Like, I'm not going to push anything, like any decisions on you. I'm not going to say anything to him, but you need to think about the fact that, like, you know, this is how you feel. Are you happy with him? Do you not want to be in a relationship with him anymore? Or was this just like a moment? Or, I mean, you guys need to talk. You talk about everything else. You need to talk about this.
I think if you had like a slip up, I would be like, Jess, like, no,
Jess,
dude.
How was it?
Jess, oh my God. How big was his dick? Jess,
honey.
No, but I think I would be like, Jess, what? Like, no. But I think that if you were carrying on a relationship with someone, I think that's where I would be laying in bed awake all night thinking about it. And that's when I would be like, you need to stop or I'm going to say something.
I'm going to tell him.
I'm going to tell on you.
Yeah, if it was an affair, if it had been like going on for a while, then I might. But again, that's because I know Gray. If you're just my friend and I don't know your partner and you're having an affair, I would actively be like, you have a problem right now and this needs to get talked. Like, you need to figure out if you want to leave this person, if you're going to tell this person, whatever. And I'd be on you about it. But I don't think I would necessarily tell the partner if I didn't know the partner.
No, like I said, I think if I was going to tell the partner, if I had any idea of doing it, I would tell the person, I would threaten them, and I would say,
yeah, I'd be like, if you don't say
honest,
something, yeah. But then would you actually follow through and do it?
If they didn't say anything, I would give them a timestamp. I would be like, in the next 2 weeks, like, and you better not lie to me.
I would probably threaten that as well, but then I'd keep pushing the time back because I would be too nervous to tell the partner. I'd be like, all right, I'm going to give you one more week. It's like 3 years later. I'm like, okay, 1 more week.
That's when I would really utilize the burner. I would not tell them from me. I would message the partner and I would be like, I really don't know how to say this, but like, blah, 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 blah.
That's a good idea. Yikes.
Not fun.
I would just not even speak to you about it and I would just go straight to the burner because I don't want to have confrontation.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you would even actually tell me from the burner. You would say you need to come clean about your cheating on Gray.
Yeah, I would just fully avoid it. I've thought about making a burner before to tell someone about someone else.
I have to.
And I didn't do it.
No, then you're just going down a rabbit hole.
Like, then when you know, you just like, you're thinking about it all the time. Then you don't want to break someone's spirit. It's so intense.
It's not that I'm very selfish in that where it's like, I think it's for the best if it breaks their spirit temporarily because it needs to be done.
Someone needs to grow.
Someone needs to get them out of the shitty situation where they're being deceived. It's kind of the way I think about it. But selfishly, I'm like, then what if the other person finds out and it gets back to me and then like,
oh, God, okay. This is some dark real tea. I don't feel so bad because the person wasn't like a best friend of mine. Oh shit. But basically in college, I found out that one of my friends' boyfriends was cheating on her.
Yeah.
And
so then you found out that you could cheat on, he would cheat with you too.
So then we started hooking up. No, so then I talked to him one night at a party. I was just like, you need to talk to her. Da, 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 da. Yeah. And this man threatened to say things about me that he knew that at the time, listen, now I could give a shit. But at the time, super paranoid, super Christian, full of shame, Jess. Didn't want people knowing. She was running around college giving head everywhere, okay? It was all full of shame. And he knew I was bouncing around, hopping on some dicks, dude. And I was living my life. And he told me, he's like, I know that you've sucked, whatever. And he's like, and if you say that, I'm putting that out there. And it was like the type of college where I'm like, I could lose.
Absolutely.
Shit.
Yeah. No. I would feel the same way as you, where you'd be like,
and so I never told her.
Let's find him now and dox him.
Let's
find out where he lives.
I mean, luckily they broke up pretty soon afterwards, so I didn't feel too bad. Like the guilt didn't remain, but I felt.
Oh my God, that's so shitty.
But I felt so like, first of all just vulnerable and gross and whatever. Like, because it was already a lot for me to go and confront him because he kind of intimidated me a little bit. He was just. Ugh.
Yeah.
And then when he threw that back at me,
I don't blame you.
It was kind of a euphoria. It was kind of my euphoria moment.
That was a euphoria moment.
But then I felt horrible because I'm like, she needs to know.
I don't blame you.
But I was just too full of shame and too scared. So sorry about that.
Why didn't you tell someone else to tell her?
I didn't because then they would say, why aren't you saying it? And then they would pry as to like, no one knew what I was doing. The people I lived with were all super Christian. Everyone around me, super Christian, not sex positive. And then there was me, living in the darkness in secret, doing my thing.
Some of them probably were too, I'm sure.
I'm sure they probably were. Yeah. But at the time, I'm this is my, like, no,
also, it doesn't matter if people are doing it too, It's like you're still going to dogpile, like when you're in that environment, you're gonna.
So I'm like, I can't reveal that because that'll be straight up fucking euphoria gossip girl around the school, and then I'm her, and then I'm gonna get of course the guys won't lose any
Well,
sort of
doesn't the
scholarship,
school have
but
like
I
a
might.
purity pact? Or does that one not?
Yeah, I think it did at
Yeah.
the time. I don't know if it has it anymore, but that's what I'm saying. So it was like, I can't drink, I can't have sex, whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to get kicked out of this school and
Yeah.
get shame dumped all over
No,
me.
that's real.
But again, it wouldn't happen to the guys. It would have only happened to me. The guys who got the great head would have been free to float around the school, but I would not.
Did you guys have to sign a pact though? We said you wouldn't have sex.
I'm pretty sure it was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew
We had to say,
something.
it was a bunch of things that we said.
Yeah,
It was just, I think it was like, no, at the time, no sex, no drinking, all of that stuff,
Yeah.
which is interesting because at the time that school was bringing on a ton of athletes because they were trying to build up their athletic teams. And so a bunch of people had just showed up to the school who were athletes who were not from Christian homes.
Christian. You're like,
and
hey, hotties.
they were fun. I was like, oh my God. And those were the people that I would secretly run around at their parties. And then all the friends around me would be like, did you hear such and such had a party? And I heard that this happened. And I was like, I was there. It was me. Oh, good times.
Actually, good times though, because everything's way more fun when you have to worry about getting caught.
Yes.
It's true.
That is actually a whole conversation I would love to dive in with you at some point, because Evan and I have been talking about how so many of us were raised having to hide. So what does that now look like for a lot of people with their sexual like kinks and turn-ons and everything?
It's not even just sex. Like I had so much more fun doing drugs and drinking when I was hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is now actually that weed's legal, the rates of high schoolers smoking weed is down a lot because rebelling is fun.
Right.
And I remember getting into college, and I remember like, because I didn't go to a Christian college, and I remember like, oh, I can do literally anything I want with my time, or like anything I want. And I remember turning immediately into the most boring fucking person. It was like, I'm going to stay home and watch a movie. Like, why the hell would I want to stay out until 4:00 in the morning, feel like shit the next day? Meanwhile, like, all I wanted to do in high school was like sit in my friend's car smoking weed until 5 a.m.
Yeah, you do it for so long.
And then, yeah, it's just like, well, that's not as fun anymore.
The thing that I think is such a problem about it is that, obviously there are things that you need to make not okay for the youth to keep them safe.
Sure.
But when, everything around them is made to put shame on them, like all the purity culture stuff, etc., it makes it harder to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like in very developmental times, your brain associates pleasure with hiding and sneakiness, right? So then I'm like, it's so hard. I feel like as I'm getting older and I'm seeing some of my friends and their lives change, and even in my own, I'm like, it's so dangerous to raise a kid like that, because when you're associating always like pleasure with like having to hide and sneak, it's like, then what's stimulating later in life? It's anything that's like under the covers of darkness. Like that's exciting and stimulating. I would imagine that a lot of that has to do with like being raised in that. And again, like all your receptors connecting those things together, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing like all my friends now who have ended their like marriages and stuff, and like them struggling to find what brings them like pleasure in life, and feeling like really lost, because it's like the right thing is to be communicative and open with a partner, but then they're not turned on. Do you know what I'm saying? Because what turns them on is kind of like the secrecy of watching the porn without being honest with the partner.
I'll tell you what though, I've to counter that though, I think I don't know, because I guess I have a good amount of friends or partners that were raised in sex positive homes, but it's and maybe that's just an adult, I think it's heightened in Christian cultures, but I've definitely seen it as just an adult struggle of like, what truly brings me joy and pleasure? And I don't know.
That's true.
And I think a lot of that has to do with maybe in some ways also in both opposites, a purity culture and an over-sexualized culture too, where you're being fed what's supposed to be a turn on, what's supposed to be a turn off, what you're supposed to be into, what sex is supposed to look like, how you're supposed to, all these narratives that are fed through porn, through movies, all that kind of stuff, how you're supposed to interact, how the timeline's supposed to go. And then you find yourself at this period of life being like, I've been going through the motions for a really long time and I have no idea what my sexual identity really looks like in the pure form.
It's so true.
I always fantasize and think about like, what would it be like in the 1800s where like, and I'm not even talking about, because everyone was bringing this up the other day, he's like, you see someone's leg, and it's like, whoa, but not even that, like the exploration of never having a narrative of what you are supposed to do with someone else's body. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to make out with them, then kiss their neck, then lick their nipples, then, do this.
Right. Like what would happen organically.
Right.
To bring you pleasure.
Just purely coming from what excites you and what you like the idea of, because we've been infiltrated by all these ideas of what we're supposed to like.
That's so interesting. And so, yeah.
Because sometimes, even someone like, when I've really been thinking about this lately, like sometimes someone even like tickling your arm, not even talking about arousing, but just talking about pleasure in just terms of the word, will be even more pleasurable than some of these certain types of sexual activities. Then I'm going, wait, why then am I doing this? I actually just enjoy this more, but I'm supposed to be doing this. So why am I doing that?
It is so powerful when all of a sudden you like recognize things that like culture tells you you should be turned on by.
Yeah.
And you realize you're not, and then you just say absolutely no more.
Right.
Fuck that. It doesn't bring me, it's not like bad, but it just doesn't bring me any pleasure. Right. So like we're not
like it.
That's not in the routine. We're not doing that. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that. All right. Let's go. I got to drive home.
I know. I gotta go get Ember. All right, broads. We love ya. And we'll chat soon.
Yeah. Fun chatting. Chat soon.